Hi everyone, those that are watching this recording, welcome to my channel where I create content about mindset, self-esteem, building relationships with love and ease. I'm a psychologist, a coach. My name is Janara, and also on this channel, I invite people to share some of their expertise, some of their experience about certain topics that I personally find interesting and thrilling. Today, my guest is Aidar Vafin. I have known him for over 15 years, and I think that he is the best person to talk to about entrepreneurial mindset and the journey of an entrepreneur. Hi, Aidar, how are you?
Hi, Dinar. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good as well. I'm so happy that you have found some time for this talk. I know that
Thank
you're
you.
a very busy man. Can you tell me, let's start with the word entrepreneur. How has it entered your life? Have you always been entrepreneurial, or was it something that you nurtured in yourself over time?
I would say that when I was young, I didn't know this term at all. So in that time, in my society, in my family society, and all people around me, we didn't know this word because we didn't have any entrepreneurial people or entrepreneurs. And in that time, I thought about the business and I heard the word business, and I lived in a small town and spent my time in the village with my grandma and with a lot of sheep, cows, and all this like things. And my I would say I started being entrepreneur or starting to feel that I am like this when I started leading people. Same thing happened in village my little town and at school as well. Yes, I started being organizer of different things and lead people to do something. Yes, in the village we constructed a lot of different things and I managed people and hired even people to do some work in the field. And same at school. Yes, we had also plantation at school, and we needed to do uh, some work. And my task was all the time to organize people and to manage them in order to have the best of the result. And we got all the time the best result, and that's why I still remember that when we did our job, and it would give a result like the next 2 3 years, and we shouldn't replace it, and we shouldn't to uh, like fix it or something like that. So I would say from the beginning of my childhood, I started to recognize that I have kind of leadership ability to be a leader. Yes, and then it becomes an entrepreneur. So then I become an entrepreneur. I would say like
Mhm.
that.
All right. You're a wonderful example of someone who comes from a quite like middle class family, low class family from a region, not like from the city center of Moscow, like from a rural area, let's say, where the parents just had normal jobs. Your mom, she
Yeah.
is and she was a housewife, and so you were not exposed to the entrepreneurial, let's say, society. And it's just that it's amazing to see your story, and it's inspiring how just a normal person from a normal life, from a normal childhood, can turn into a serial entrepreneur, a PhD in economics, and also an author of a book. It's amazing. What are some other traits that you would say make you personally different from just regular employees or regular specialists? So you've already mentioned something that is innate in you, some leadership skills. You've always organized people, you've managed people. What are some other traits that distinguish entrepreneurs?
It's all the time you need to try to do something. Yes. You should take risk and try to implement your ideas, your thoughts in life, and try to sell it, of course, at the end. Yes, this is the main thing that everyone struggles. They afraid of doing something. They afraid of start. They afraid of uh, starting to sell whatever. They afraid of themselves. Yes, at the end. So this is the main thing that people struggles. At the same time, from for example, from the perspective of my society, yes, it would like kind of low class plus, I would say, yeah. The family, and because they came from the village, my parents, and they did a great job and everything is fine. But anyway, when you compare yourself now, when we had it before, so it's really low class. But but they did great, yes. And my mom, she helped me a lot, especially because she was at home a lot, even though she worked a bit sometimes, but because she cooked, and she did great job with me, and she helped me a lot, and it was a great time. But anyway, the thing that traits you need to have, it's ability to take a risk. This is the main thing. Next thing is the ability not to uh, spill out everything you want to do for everyone you know, because if you are from the society as I was, like from the society when nobody knows about entrepreneurship, anything, especially the word entrepreneurship or businessman is a negative in the society. Yes, because I grew up in a society when if you are entrepreneur or you are a businessman, you are a bad man. You're extremely bad man and nobody likes you. Yeah, it's kind of social instinct from of the society. They don't like them, and especially if you have this type of infrastructure around you, social infrastructure, you shouldn't tell anyone about your ideas, especially if they are not, if they don't have entrepreneurial mindset. So the next thing you need to try to do and implement your ideas. So this is true, like a kind of controversial task you have to solve in order to start. Yes, and the main thing is like just try, because if you don't try, it is the biggest mistake in your life that you can make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. That reminds me of some interviews I've watched with people who were in their 80s, 90s, and they were asked, "What is it that you regret?" And they all said, "I regret not doing what I wanted to do," you know? And I also feel that sometimes, and I feel exactly what you're saying because I have had my own stages of my path as a person that has mostly been self-employed as a teacher, as an educator, as a trainer, now as a coach. And sometimes it's so easy just to get stuck in your head and to hypothesize about possible projects you can launch, but then you don't because there is this fear, as you have mentioned earlier, as the biggest obstacle that stops you from taking that action, taking that risk. So the big thing here is to have a certain mindset, right? So let's dive into the topic of a mindset of an entrepreneur, if you don't mind. Tell us, what is it that drives the entrepreneur? What is it that gives them the energy, and what is it that helps them see behind, like see through that fear, not to be affected by it and still keep moving and take those risks?
These questions are really like too deep sometimes to speak about it within like a couple of minutes, but let's try to simplify the idea and give some thoughts. Um, you as an entrepreneur or future entrepreneur, or you are like wanted to be an entrepreneur or whatever, you have a fear, and and everyone has fear, and you can distinguish that fear in different subjects. For example, you can afraid of your current situation, or you can afraid of not to get something in the future, or you can motivate yourself. So the thing is that here words as motivation and stimulation. So what type of things works for you better? From my perspective, I had both motivation and stimulation. So my stimulation was my current situation, that I didn't have any money, I didn't have nothing, I didn't have anything, yeah, and at that time I lived in dormitory. Uh, I had anything like I had nothing, like nothing, literally. A couple bucks in my pocket, and that's it. It was my starting of life. And then eventually parents a bit helped me, but anyway it was very less, but they helped me. It was great time then when they helped me with some starting point. And stimulation was that I didn't have anything. The motivation was that I want to have something better. I had pictures of my mind that I want to have. It was kind of life that I want to have. Everyone has an idea what they want to live. Yes, and that ideas don't come from Instagram or social media. You have it in your inner. You have that uh, feelings what you want to have in your life. It can be your family. It can be your material things, and I don't know, houses, yachts, cars, whatever. Yeah, everyone is different, but you have an idea in your mind what you want to have. And now in your situation, like you have uh, your stimulation, your current situation, maybe you want to avoid something, you want to get out from some places. Yeah, and at the same time, you have motivation that your future that you want to have. And third thing, maybe you have some ideas, I don't know, you want to invent something, you want to implement kind of ideas, invention, and build something, and it's also motivation. Yes, and all these things like motivates you. Uh, if you don't have anything of them, maybe it's better to work for someone as well. Yes, it's also good good stuff when you are someone, because to be entrepreneur, it's not a really fun life sometimes. It's not about sitting on money and spending and spending them. Okay, it's about work. Like you work sometimes 24/7 every day and years, and to get a result. And you need to be ready for it, because the people see only the top of the iceberg. They don't see the bottom. They don't see that the width and deep depth bottom, that work you done to make it. So you see only the result. Oh, he has a good house and it's excellent cars and whatever. Yeah, life and how. Yes, it was common in our society to think like that. They saw you and like and see, oh, you are like a very rich guy, but they didn't see how much effort, yeah, and time I spent to have it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that again, it's stimulation and motivation and actions. These three things you have to have. Uh, you have to act. This is you have to act. Whatever it costs, you have to act. You have to try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for summing it up like that. And you've also touched upon some, let's say, positive aspects of a path of an entrepreneur and some, so to say, negative ones. Because sometimes really look at things through like pink glasses and we can
Yes.
be a bit naive sometimes. Like, for example, me, I also thought, oh, if I choose a path of an entrepreneur, it means that I will have a lot of free time and I can just decide what I want to do. But actually, I felt lost. I was like, oh my God, where do I even start? So
Yes.
some of those good things come with bad things. And just to sum it up, and maybe you want to add some more. So, what is great about this journey? For example, yes, money, making dreams come true, some sort of freedom when it comes to time management. And then what's hard objectively, that sometimes we can feel lost. Sometimes a lot of efforts are required, even 24/7. What are some other things that you would add? Some benefits and then some
Yeah.
disadvantages.
As you told, It's it's all about your experience and yourself. So when you start something, you don't know what to do. You don't have boss, you don't have anyone who can guide you, who can give you task as at work, for example. Yes, when you go to work, you have your boss, you have some guideline, you have some thing to do. Everything is clear, more or less it's clear. Yes, and there's a goal and a mission of the company, whatever. But when you are alone, you start your business. You don't have anyone. You don't have accountants sometimes. Yes, you don't have managers. And when you start, you are alone. Maximum, you have maybe a couple friends or friends, yeah, who can help you. And maybe you are together or you are alone. What it's everything you have is yourself and maybe your friends. And then when you start from the beginning, you don't know what to do. You don't have legal answers for legal questions, for tax questions, for uh, I don't know, shipping questions, customs, and it's tons of questions that you don't know the answers. And the thing is that you need to find a way how to manage them, how to find answers, and to learn quickly, very fast, very, very fast. So the thing that you need to know that when you are in this path of being entrepreneur, you should learn fast. You should have an actions, a lot of actions, and don't think about the sometimes consequences. Don't afraid of them. Yes, if you have some mistakes, okay, the government will fine you. You will pay. It's okay. Yes, and just go forward. Don't think about that, and then you'll know next time that you will not do that mistakes. Second thing is, as I told, you don't know, you don't have guidelines. So you need to create kind of guidelines in your mind, how you would do, even you don't know the topic. So you open the business and you don't know what to do or what should be. But anyway, you have an idea what you want to reach. Okay. What is your kind of next result, what you want to have. And even though you don't know the topic, you have ability, your brain has ability to make a map or some guidelines, what you want to do, what you need to do to reach it. Then you create this map and just follow the task. Okay. And just do your job. You don't know the result. You don't know how to reach it, how to manage it. You don't know nothing, anything else, and just do it. This is the thing. As create a map of task, create a map guidelines for yourself. And I would say third thing is when you do actions, when you start learning fast, when you have guidelines, yes, and it's analyze each your movement. When you finish something, yes, when you do something, when you have, for example, good results, think about okay, like why I have this result or why I don't have that result. If you can analyze and understand why do you have it, why you have it, so then you need to make a rule. Okay, if I do this and this and this, okay, I have a kind of result. If you have mistakes, you do the same. That's not to repeat mistakes and again and again. I would say like that, just to start doing, make a map and just make taking actions.
Mhm. I really appreciate the recommendations you have given about how to make it more clear for you, how to make it clearer, because sometimes we can just feel bombarded with so many tasks, and your guidelines have just given me personally a better idea how to add more clarity, and I'm sure that it was useful for the listeners as well.
Yes, and again, returning to the same topic when we started about our social infrastructure. When you have this map and you'll have it, everyone has it. Uh, don't share with your loved ones who don't believe, to entrepreneurship, to business environment or whatever. They don't have an experience of them. You can ask some particular questions sometimes, for example, in legal questions and accounting questions or custom questions, if they are high, highly like high professionals on that topic, you can ask their advice in specifically questions without giving them a whole idea, because then they can bombard you with a lot of their fears about your business, and that fear of their fears, yes, they will cover you, and then you like can sink on that fears. So
Mhm.
don't put yourself on that situation.
Right.
I
The
had
is
it, so that's why I know it.
Yeah, what you're describing is also something that I have experienced. The We should not underestimate the influence of the environment. There is this saying in all languages, I'm sure it's in English and in Russian, that tell me who your friend is, I'll tell you who you are. So the influence of this symbiosis that we have with people is so big, and sometimes we cannot even see it ourselves. But one of the examples I've heard somewhere that I cannot ask, I don't know, a surgeon how to fly a plane, right? I'm going to ask the surgeon about the surgery, and I'm going to ask the
Yes.
pilot
Right.
about flying the plane. So, and I am very lucky that I have Idar in my circle of friends with whom I can talk about some ideas and feel more faith in me and have more clarity. But I wouldn't talk about these ideas with someone who might not support me. Although it's nothing personal against me, I'm talking about parents, relatives, close friends, or even partners, but it's just they live in a different world with their different perceptions, with their different ideas. And it doesn't mean that you don't love them if you stop talking to them about certain issues, right?
Yes, right. Right.
Hmm.
So
And
yes.
I just wanted to ask you very sincerely, honestly, in your opinion, would you say that anyone has the potential to become an entrepreneur? Would you say that everybody is designed to become an entrepreneur? What's your personal feeling about it?
So if everyone would design to be entrepreneur, we would need a lot of robots to work for us.
Good point.
So, so unfortunately not for everyone. Unfortunately not. It's fortunate and unfortunate at the same time. I would say entrepreneurs is only like scientists said it's around 30% of the population maximum. Uh, and it's not really for everyone. It's very tough job. Yes, you take all risk for yourself. You don't have any covers. You don't have your boss or your work or your experience. Yes, sometimes when you are entrepreneur, for example, in my case, when I moved to the USA, and I left all my experience in my ex country, and then uh, I can bring to the States only my ability to do something. I don't have specific skills. Yes, my major is economics and finance. Yeah, but my business was in construction, commercial real estate, short-term rental management, and all this stuff. And I can bring to the States. Also, we did manufacturing, but I couldn't bring my business to the States. It was impossible. So what I could bring only my experience. So, for example, when you work for someone, you are kind of professional. You have your path, you have your way, and you can easily change, for example, countries sometimes, or work, or your place of work. Yes, because you are a professional. You know how to make it done a task. When you're an entrepreneur, you are like a kind of creator. You don't know how to do, you know what you want. This is the difference. And then you need to organize people and situations and your infrastructure to make it done. And this is the difference. And it's not for everyone, because sometimes you put all your money in a like a 1 year idea and you can lost. And I lost a lot of times. Yes, and it can break you. So, and then if it breaks you, you don't have really skills to work for someone, and then you can you try to organize something else again and again. This is the difficulties of being entrepreneur. And sometimes it's kind of way of loneliness as well. It might be like that. Yes, because you can be alone a lot of times before you start hiring someone. Uh, and this is the reason why it's not for everyone. And
Mm-hmm.
you take a lot of risk all the time, and you are only with yourself at the beginning, especially.
Mm-hmm. Right. So from what you are saying, I can just sum it up that what defines an entrepreneur, and not everybody can be like this, is creativity, being able to rely on himself, herself, leadership skills,
Yes,
mental resilience. For example, what you've
yes,
mentioned, uh, falling but then standing up again, being like that plant that can, even when it's so windy, it can still keep growing up. Um, a certain mindset, ability to learn fast, what you said, also an ability to reproduce a certain idea, to repeat it again or repeat something similar in a different environment with different tools, with different people. And this is something that I would love us to discuss in the future lives that we will do. For example, what it's like to be an immigrant, what have been some, let's say, rough patches in your entrepreneurial journey, what makes this entrepreneurial mindset, what helps you deal with fears, and so on and so on. I would love to ask you more and more questions. And dear listeners, please leave your comments or questions for Aidar. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Aidar, to today's
I
conversation?
will try. I want to try to help people, especially to be entrepreneur. I tried before because as a lecturer at university, I tried to make a group, and some of people of mine that my students, and they become entrepreneurs. Not everyone, but from 45 people, around like four people tried. One of them is very successful. Three of them failed, but even one is super beneficial for the society. Yes, and because they create jobs, they give ideas, and they move forward the society, and it's great. Yes. And next thing is just you need to try. Yes. From my perspective, I started from super low, so I didn't have anything. I didn't have any social infrastructure for it. I had very bad infrastructure, I would say, because around me everyone hated entrepreneurs and businessmen. Yes, and they didn't like them. And even though maybe you have this type of situation in your life, and a lot of people I think have. Yes, because it depends on the country. In the States, entrepreneurship is a great thing. Everyone loves us. Yeah, but yes, but in the countries with the social perspective, like you, for example, yeah, not in each country. Yeah, yeah, same in Turkey, Russia, and CIS countries, like ex-Soviet Union countries. Yes, China, maybe India. Not everyone there loves entrepreneurs. It's kind of thing that no, because they are independent from the society. Yes, they can think independently, they can vote independently, and they can also a bit change the environment. So no, not everyone loves them. So if you are in that type of society, especially maybe it's topics for you because you can understand that you are not alone on that field and that there is a way how to be entrepreneur and how to start doing your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Although we sometimes might feel lonely and we might feel that the system doesn't really want us. Like, for example, here in
Yes.
Spain, I noticed that in the air and also in conversations with people that they simply don't react so positively to the idea of someone opening their business and working for themselves. They appreciate people who are civil workers, for example, or those that become doctors who work for the system. So I sometimes also struggle with this feeling like, oh, so there isn't much support from the system.
Yes, I agree with you.
Hmm. And I personally hope that this conversation has entertained you, dear listeners, and it has given you a better idea or a better perception of what it's like to live a life of an entrepreneur, what it takes to become one, and what is hard about this journey, what's great about this journey. And in the future, I hope we will cover more and more interesting topics. Thank you so much, Aidar, for being
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
I'll see you again. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.